to my channel. So today I am showing you guys 3 different Amish recipes. I've never really made Amish recipes before, but I used to visit Colorado all the time, so I grew up kind of near a lot of Amish people and we had a lot of their food at times. So I just thought it would be fun to incorporate some of the meals that I had and, you know, share some recipes with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you here, so go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down below the video. But let's get cooking some Amish meals. The first recipe we are making is this easy Amish baked oatmeal breakfast casserole recipe. I'm just going to show you guys how to make it, but for the topping I'm just using these dried blueberries. So they are from this company called Nutstop. I'm also using this coconut sugar from Nutstop. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. This is just my own saying. I just love the company, and I do have a coupon code for them. So if you want to buy some amazing Nutstop products, I will have that coupon code in my description box below, as well as their website if you want to go check them out. I really do love their products, and they're always so fresh. Moving over here, we just have some ground cinnamon, some quick oats, salt, 2 eggs, some vanilla flavor, milk, baking powder, and some melted butter. And these are all the ingredients I am going to be using for this casserole. Now that we have measured out all of our ingredients, I am just going to crack these 2 eggs into this bowl and whisk them up. Next, we're just adding our 1/2 cup of some coconut sugar. I forgot to tell you guys, but you could use normal sugar if you just have normal sugar on hand, but I just really like the taste of coconut sugar in my oatmeal. Now you're just going to be adding your teaspoon of baking powder along with your salt and your 1/2 tablespoon of cinnamon, and then again your teaspoon of some vanilla extract. I just want to leave you guys with a little side note right here. So I am halving this recipe. This recipe is originally for a 9x13 baking dish, but my family is pretty small, so I am definitely halving this recipe right now. So I just added in my milk, my butter, and then my quick oats into that bowl, and then you're just going to whisk it all together. And then again, since I halved this recipe, I'm just pouring it out on my greased 8x8 baking dish. Then you're just going to top it with whatever toppings you desire. I just had some extra dried blueberries on hand, so that's what we topped ours with, but raisins would be great on it, or chocolate chips would be absolutely delicious on it. So whatever you just have on hand or whatever you like on your oatmeal, go ahead and top it with that, and then just plop it into the oven. Here it is all cooked through and plated up. I just like to drizzle a little bit of some milk on top just so it is a little bit less dry. And then also I'm just putting a little bit of honey on top. Also, we sprinkled some brown sugar on top as well, and this turned out delicious. We also had it for the next day for breakfast. If you're going to save it, the leftovers for breakfast for the next day, all you do is just plop some in the microwave and then drizzle a little bit of milk on top, and then, you know, put whatever toppings you want. But this was so good. It was Will approved. Now we're going to start on our honey whole wheat bread. If you're ever intimidated on making bread, don't be. This recipe is so easy and you could do it. So I just have some honey, some whole wheat flour. I use the high altitude flour just because I'm pretty much living in the mountains here where I live. So this is just what works best for me in my altitude. And then I just have a little bit of salt, some warm water in that clear bowl. And then I have some butter I'm going to melt down, and then some yeast to activate my warm water, and that is all I'm going to be using. These are all the simple ingredients. Now let's get baking some bread. To my KitchenAid mixer right here, I'm just pouring in my 1.5 cups of warm water, and then I'm going to pour in my 1/4 ounce dry active yeast, which is just this one packet, and I'm just going to let it sit for like 5 to 10 minutes until it gets bubbly, just like this. So that's how you know it is, activated, is it looks a little bit bubbly, just like that. So then I'm going to put in my room temperature butter along with my honey. This is just 1/4 cup of honey, and then I'm just going to be adding in a little bit of salt. It's just 1/2 teaspoon of that, and then I'm adding in my flour. I'm just adding in 2 cups of flour at a time until it gets to the texture I like it to be. Now you see, this is the texture I like my bread to be. This is kind of like perfect in my opinion. So if you're gonna make this recipe, this is kind of the texture you guys want it to look like. So I'm just gonna take it off my hook and then put it on a floured surface. So I'm just putting it on my cutting board, and then I'm gonna knead it. You're gonna wanna knead this for about 10 minutes. And yes, it does get tiring. Once you are done kneading, you're just going to place your dough in a large greased bowl. I'm just greasing my bowl with some olive oil and then, just brushing it out because I don't have any spray right now, which is totally fine. And then I just plopped my dough in there and then covered it with some cling wrap. I did spray the top of that cling wrap as well. And then I just set it in a warm room for about 45 minutes so this dough can rise. Here we are. So as you guys could tell, the dough has totally doubled in size, and that's what we want. So now I am going to lightly mist a 9 by 5 inch loaf pan with some non-stick spray, and then I am going to place this dough right in there. And on that dough, I am just going to put some more cling wrap on top of that, and then I'm going to let it rise again for another 45 minutes. And once those 45 minutes are up, you're just going to take that cling wrap off and then just plop it in your oven and let it cook. As you guys could tell, the bread is totally cooked through and delicious. I just like to put a little bit of butter and some jam on top, and this bread is so good. Even my baby really loves it. This is a great recipe. I do recommend it. Here is the third and final Amish meal. This one's actually my favorite, so watch carefully. So here are all the ingredients you guys are going to need for this recipe. These are some butter pecan Amish sugar cookies. These are so good. So let's just get started measuring right now. As you guys just saw, I just added in my cup of granulated sugar along with my cup of powdered sugar, and then I'm just adding in my cup of vegetable oil along with my cup of butter, and then you're just going to mix it all together until it gets well incorporated. Then once it is well incorporated, you're just going to add in your 2 eggs along with your vanilla. Over to my dry ingredients, I just have my 4.5 cups of all-purpose flour along with my teaspoon of baking soda and then my teaspoon of cream of tartar. So you're just going to mix that together so all of that gets incorporated. Then you're just going to slowly mix it in with the sugar and butter mixture that we just made. Once everything is well incorporated together, you're going to start on your pecans. So this is 2 cups of pecans I'm going to be measuring out. So the recipe originally calls for toasted pecans, but I just did not have any time to toast these pecans. But if you have a little bit of time on your hands and you do prefer your pecans toasted in cookies, go ahead and do that right now. Add all of the chopped pecans except for 1/2 cup back into your mix, and then you're just going to want to fold it all together. Over to my cookie sheet. Nothing special about this part. I am just scooping these out with my cookie scooper. I did want to mention to you guys, I use these air bake cookie sheets. I do love these air bake cookie sheets. I think they make the perfect cookie every single time, and my cookies are never brown on the bottom, so I do recommend air bake cookie sheets if you are in the market for some new cookie sheets. Once these are through baking, just remove them to a wire cookie sheet. But if you don't have a cookie sheet, that is totally fine. You could just remove these to a piece of paper towel and just let them cool down. While the cookies are cooling, let's just get started on our frosting right now so we don't waste any time. So I just added in 4 tablespoons of some melted butter along with a teaspoon of some vanilla and then 1/4 cup of some whole milk. And then as far as the powdered sugar, you're going to need 4 cups of powdered sugar, but I just added mine in very slowly so I didn't make it too thick. So just mix it all together with either a whisk or a KitchenAid mixer like this. And then I also added a couple squeezes of some yellow food coloring because I just think yellow is so pretty. Nothing too special about this part either. It's just, you know, do a little dollop of that frosting on each of the cookies. I did want to mention one thing. Make sure your frosting is not too runny or else they just won't look as pretty in the end. It will still taste good, but just make sure your frosting is thick enough. And then the remainder of the 1/2 cup of pecans that you saved earlier, you're just going to put them on top and just sprinkle them and just try to make these so pretty. Here are these cute little cookies all plated up. These were so delicious and they're so darling, so I highly recommend this recipe. As always, I will have all 3 recipes linked in my description box below for you. And that is it for today's video, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed it and got something from it. I post a video similar to this a couple times a week, so go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any more of my videos. I'd love to have you here. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye for now.